So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another edition of the NFC East Roundtable. And the good thing is that we have two teams from this beloved division facing off in just a couple of hours, but there is still quite a bit that we need to discuss about week 3 and obviously discussing all of the matchups that are occurring in week 4. We ask you to smash that like button the second that you tune in, subscribe and turn on bell notifications because you are in for a ride. Let's go ahead and welcome in our guest starting off with the big winner last week. What's going on, Rio?
What is going on, Dan? Heavy as the head that wears the crown. Washington sits atop the NFC East, and our quarterback is coming for all y'all asses, bro. Let's go.
It's absolutely beautiful. And then we have to bring in Jay Tuck. Jay Tuck, how you doing?
Man, what the hell's going on right now, man? I don't like being no bottom dweller on this show, man. I feel like y'all set me up, man. Y'all brought me on this show with this beautiful cast, man, who I'm having fun with. But my Cowboys aren't holding me down. Listen, Dallas Cowboys, y'all can't be out here embarrassing. This was my mama used to tell me when I used to play sports. Don't you be out here embarrassing me, boy? Listen, don't y'all embarrass me tonight. It's all I can say, man. So y'all might be looking for a new Cowboys guy, man.
Boy, look good tonight. He got his game day uniform on.
A little giant throwback. I'm bringing out the spirit of Troy Aikman and Jimmy Johnson tonight. You know what I'm saying? Big stars tonight. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. As soon as when you responded earlier in the chat and you said, oh, man, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make it tonight, I was like, oh, no. Big Blue, what's going on, man?
What's going on, guys? We're back here. The Giants finally got themselves a dub. You know, we're bringing it in right now. We're about to double up on this tonight. So we'll see what happens. But I'm feeling good, baby. Feeling good. Let's go.
So it's the victory shades. I know that the NFC West Roundtable did that, where all the victors were wearing the shades.
Oh, yeah.
And then we started picking it up on AFC East. So it seems to be a movement across the network entirely, and I can appreciate that. But, folks, we have to remind you that this episode would not be possible without it being powered by BetUS. Hands down, the best sports book on the face of the planet when it comes into all of your sports betting. For over-unders, point spreads, standard money lines, this is the place to go. And I'll tell you what, man.
Easy money.
These odds right here appear to be a lot closer than some might assume. I'm going to start off with Kid Blue. Man, listen, I know it's normally that you don't bet on your favorite team, but is +5 pretty interesting to you?
I'll tell you what's interesting is the Cleveland Browns were a whole 6.5 points favored against the Giants, and we wound up winning that game. So 5 points ain't nothing. 5 points ain't nothing. Give me the Giants +5. That's easy money right there. Come on.
That's easy money for Danny Dimes and crew. All right. What you got, Jay Tuck?
Now we taking this money line, man. If you want to be greedy, you can flex. You can flex that -5 to a 7. You know what I'm saying? Because Brandon always going to get it, man. The Cowboys are going to bounce back. In the words of my dog, Big Sean, last week took an L, but tonight we bounce back, Cowboys Nation. Go ahead and flex that and alt that to 7. Get you some money on BetUS.
Tonight we bounce back. And, folks, let me tell you what. BetUS is giving one of the best promos in the game right now. They're matching 150% of your first deposit as long as you go to their website and utilize code YouTube150. And then their second and your third pick is going to be 125% deposit match. This is the best promo in the game. Visit their website and make it happen. But, boys, I'll tell you what, we ended up having a hell of a week 3. All right. Some very crazy victories. And I would say that both of the teams that won were significant underdogs, defied all odds. And unfortunately, our Dallas Cowboys ended up dropping a close one to the Baltimore Ravens. So we're going to go through all of those. I'm seeing some people in the chat say, where is the Eagles representative? He is currently out of town. Have no fear. He will be back next week. But we're still talking about the Eagles. Don't worry about that.
I got y'all covered, Eagles Nation. I got y'all.
Yeah, the world is a better place when the Eagles fans are not
that's
here
right.
anyway. So
it's a lot more calmer around here. Yeah.
Shout out to Gunner over here for a $5 donation, man. We sincerely appreciate you rolling on in. Talk your ish, Rio. Need Giants to win to pour gas on the Cowboys crash out tour. Giants win tonight, and the Cowboys defensive locker room implodes. HTTC.
Hop on the blue wagon, baby. Hop on the blue wagon. Come on.
Hop on the blue wagon. Well, I'll tell you what. Listen, we're going to unpack this Cowboys and Giants game here in just a little bit. But first, I got to talk about the Washington Commanders upsetting the Cincinnati Bengals. I follow Rio on all social medias, and I could tell that he was a Very happy man for the past couple of weeks. He's been on one, man. He's talking his trash online, and I'm absolutely here for it. So, Rio, tell me all of your thoughts based off of that very impressive performance from Jaden Daniels and the team as a whole. Go ahead.
It feels good. I'm looking at the stream right now. You see Washington's on top this week. We got the bottom feeders below us this week fighting on Thursday Night Football. We're not talking about them right now. We're talking about the first place Washington Commanders. For the first time in my life, I watched a quarterback play a perfect football game from beginning to end. That is not exaggeration. That is not hyperbole. He passed your boy Rain Dakota Prescott, J-Tuck, as the highest completion percentage in an NFL game for a rookie ever. 21 of 23. 254 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air. Got his first 2 through the air, and he got 1 on the ground, and he outdueled a top 3 quarterback in this league on Monday Night Football. Nobody can tell me anything. With the warm-up was versus Kid Blues Giants. We didn't get in the end zone, but we also didn't punt. We also didn't turn the ball over the entire game. Washington is the first team in the Super Bowl era to go 2 weeks with a clean sheet on both sides, and we're doing it behind the back of our rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels. Talk to me nice, NFC East, because we're on top right now.
They're on top of it. Now, with J-Tuck, I'm actually very curious to see your thoughts or hear your thoughts about this game, because I feel like nobody picked this Washington Commanders team to win that one.
7.5-point dogs, baby.
Except for Rio, obviously. Except for Rio, I don't feel like anyone picked them to win that one. What were your thoughts on the performance on Jaden Daniels and the whole nine?
Yeah, man, Jaden Daniels is who a lot of people, I personally expected him to be, right? He's lights out. And I felt like what they're doing with this Washington Commanders offense, they're simplifying it for him, not making it too complex. But then you have the running game in Eckler and also, Brian Robinson. And you also saw my guy, Rio's guy, Terry McLaurin, right? There he is, right? Scary Terry getting over the top. So they have a lot of explosive weapons. And now you have a quarterback that you believe in. That's a dual threat that can do a lot of different things. It just opens up the offense. But defensively, they're still a little shaky, right? They still, don't have little shaky defense. They gave up 33 points, and then when they gave up to the Tampa, like 37. So you can score points, but when you have an offense that can keep up and score points, it's going to keep you in the game. And I feel like the most important piece when it comes to Jaden Daniels is he's not making the rookie mistakes, right? So it really puts them in a position to win ball games. So cool little victory. I remember when I got my first little victory when I had a rookie quarterback, kind of felt good inside. But the thing is, can he continue to do it? I personally believe he can. I mean, I was the one that panel had the Commanders as a playoff team. So you know what I'm saying? So I strongly believe in Daniels. I wish they had drafted Drake May, but didn't pull a fast one. But they definitely got a quarterback of the future that's going to be scary in the NFC East and the NFL.
And so what were your thoughts, Kid Blue?
I mean, I can't help but say I was disappointed. I can't help but say I was kind of saddened by it. I was hoping that they would show up on prime time and just completely crap the bed, but they didn't. They showed up. I believe that was a road game, and they showed up and they played well. And I think Jaden Daniels only had 3 incompletions or something like that the entire game. 2 incompletions the entire game. He had more touchdown passes than incompletions. That's a great stat line to have, no matter how many that is. So, and again, not punting the ball. So congratulations. I'll give flowers to where it's due, but that doesn't negate the fact that we will see you in Jersey. That's it. That's all I gotta say. We will see you in Jersey.
We'll see you in Jersey. Definitely a very impressive performance from the young buck, indeed. Now, folks, there are currently 166 of you watching right now. 122 of you on YouTube. 45 of you on X. Please do us a favor. Smash that like button so it gets propelled out to the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe and turn on bell notifications so you never miss an episode as we move on to yet again the next shocking victory, and that just so happens to be the New York Giants defeating the Cleveland Browns. All right, Kid Blue, I am sure you were thrilled about this. I'm sure you've been on your high horse for the past couple of days. What's been going through your mind since the Giants ended up taking home that dub?
A breath of fresh air, because let me tell you right now, I was not high on the Giants going on to this season, but I really thought we had a good chance of winning the first 2 weeks, go 2-0, and then we'll probably have to survive a long stretch of losses, and it was going to start with the Cleveland Browns, but completely the opposite so far as the Giants dropped their first 2 games and they beat the Cleveland Browns. Arguably the best defense is the Vikings have a good defense as well, but arguably the best defense on paper that we faced so far this season. And Daniel Jones absolutely lit them up in the first half. The second half, the entire Giants team kind of let their foot off the gas pedal, as we do with every team. We never completely run away with anybody we beat. But I was extremely happy with the win. It was the best the offense and the defense looked. They actually played as an entire unit. Sometimes the offense shows up and the defense does it, and vice versa. But the defense was on fire, completely changed their game. Shane Bowen runs that bend but don't break type of defense, and they were just don't bend at all. They were 8 sacks, like 16 quarterback hits, 36 pressures. Like, it was insane. We completely demolished Deshaun Watson. He was flustered. He didn't know where to go with the ball. We didn't let him breathe in the pocket. Offensively, we were running the ball extremely efficiently. And Daniel Jones looked fantastic. And of course, Malik Neighbors doing Malik Neighbors things. It was the best product of football the Giants have put up in a while. So extremely satisfied with that win.
And so, Rio, what were your thoughts on the Giants upsetting the Cleveland Browns last week?
It's nice to see the Giants join the rest of the division and get a victory. So.
We won a game, baby. We won.
Talk your shit, Kid Blue. But, man, I don't like the New York Giants at all, but I love Malik Neighbors, man. Watching that guy play football is quite a joy. He makes Daniel Jones look palatable on Sundays. The toe taps in the end zone, the moss off the left sideline, and it was an eye-opening experience because our next game after the Arizona Cardinals is at home versus the Cleveland Browns. So watching Deshaun Watson, or the guy formerly known as Deshaun Watson, play, it's sad. It's sad at this point. It looks very pathetic, and the Giants made him look like Taylor Heineke on Sunday. So shout out to the New York Giants. Dexter Lawrence is what I aspire Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne to be. We have to sit here an excuse make for our guys every week, while guys like Dexter Lawrence, even when they're not putting up numbers on the stat sheet, seem to always make an impact on the football game. Shout out and good shit to the New York Giants.
Shout out to the Giants. And then obviously with Jay Tuck, he's set to face off against this Giants team here in just a couple of hours. Thoughts on their performance against the Cleveland Browns? Are they that good, or are the Browns that bad?
Yeah, I mean, the first thought came through my mind is like, we sit here and we bag on Daniel Jones constantly on this show, but Deshaun Watson's even worse, bro. Like, Deshaun Watson, bro, you start a podcast, do what you got to do.
Start a podcast.
Join us on Roundtable Sports, Deshaun Watson, because it is a wrap for you, bro. Like, it was just bad. But, once again, talking about their offense and Daniel Jones and Malik Neighbors is going to be special. I mean, we all knew that coming out of LSU, but it's already transpiring on the field. Now, tonight, we'll talk about that. We're going to kind of nip that in the bud a little bit. But, overall, like I said, when it comes to their offense, Daniel Jones is playing solid. And that's the thing about Daniel Jones. He's streaky. Week 1 is like, I don't know. But week 2 and week 3, he's starting to become a little bit more balanced. But I think the thing that's really propelling the New York Giants, because they play competitive versus, Rio's Commanders, is their defense, man. Their defensive front is just a huge problem. And it starts with Dexter Lawrence, but you also have Brian Burns out there. You also have Kayvon Thibodeau, who's flashy sometimes, but he can still get edge pressure. Now they're going to have some corners out tonight, but another kid that I loved out of the draft out of Minnesota was Tyler Nubin. So they have some guys out there, and with a new offensive coordinator coming over from the Tennessee Titans, the one thing we knew about the Tennessee Titans, they were dog. Like, you just knew, like, even though they had no flashy names, you were always going to be in a dog fight when it comes to playing against the Tennessee Titans. So that's transpiring over to the New York Giants. So overall, good win. I feel like the Browns is a good team. They get another quarterback. I'd probably hop on the phone and call someone like Jerry Jones and see what's up, shaking for like Trey Lance. You know what I'm saying? Is trying to work something out because they have
let Winston play. Like,
yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah. So I feel like they're a good, solid team. So for the Giants to go out there and get a victory versus a team that was a playoff team last year, kudos. But
thank you, sir.
Get your plates ready. It's time to serve a little humble pie. But good win for the Giants last week.
Some kudos action indeed. And since we already have you on the big screen, man.
How do you take me out? I don't know that.
We gotta talk about it, baby.
Zoom in closer.
We have to talk about the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. Now, at the end of the game, I thought that they were flirting with a comeback. All right, 17 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. It was a lot worse at the beginning, but then you made it a game, right? What's the overall temp check of the Dallas Cowboys fan base right now? How are you feeling after that loss? Are you still optimistic moving forward? Talk to us.
Even though we only lost by 3, I was actually at that game, right? It's still embarrassing. And the reason why it was embarrassing, the Baltimore Ravens ran the ball 45 times, actually. Like, the disrespect. Like, I wouldn't even disrespect someone like that in Madden. So what happened was the Baltimore Ravens said, you know what? Your defense is soft, bro. And we're going to run. Yeah, it's just they just took this with the P. Diddy party, no baby oil, no nothing. They just went out there and took it from us. And we could do nothing to stop it, whether it was Lamar Jackson, whether it was Derrick Henry looking like prime Derrick Henry. Like, it was just a bad showing. But I will say this, even though when we did our roundtable, show, when we went through the schedule, I was like, I don't even want to talk about the Ravens game because we are not winning that game. We know what Lamar does to the NFC, and everything the Ravens do well, the Cowboys struggle against. It was good to see some resiliency in the Cowboys fight back. So I felt like the silver lining through all that chaos is, as long as Dak Prescott is out there, we got a fighting chance. Even if our defense is trash, giving up 245 yards, and I think Lamar only had to throw the ball 14 or 15 times, as long as Dak Prescott is out there, he was going to fight, because sitting out there in the stadium, mid-third quarter, it was empty. I was pretty much had the place to myself. But all of a sudden, it started getting crowded again in that fourth quarter. And then we got the onside kick. And then Cowboys fans were getting optimistic, feeling like we're going to win this game. And then, of course, they blew it, right? So to build you up, to let you down, what we do best in Dallas. So, overall, good game, good fight. Hopefully they can learn from it and build off of that, because I feel like they settled with the run a little bit better in the second half. But it was still embarrassing to have a team just line up and punch you in the mouth. And week after week, teams are going to try that. And here in about 40 minutes, the Giants are going to try the same damn thing. It's going to be up for the Cowboys defense to grow a pair and say no longer. But we'll see what happens.
Very, very interesting. I want to move on here to Kid Blue and his thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys dropping 1-2 the Baltimore Ravens. Talk to us.
Man, I had the Cowboys actually winning against the Baltimore Ravens. I found it hard to believe that the Ravens would go 0-3, but I thought the trend was Baltimore was going to fall. It just didn't look like. They just had a terrible loss to the Raiders, but I should have known better. I had the Cowboys winning, but I mean, it was like it was over at halftime. What was the score at halftime, J Tuck?
I don't know, man.
It was terrible.
Something nasty.
I felt like every time I turned around,
it was close, right? It was close because what was that?
Like 28 points on you at half, right?
But I remember because CD got the fumble right before the half, so it was like 21 something, something like that. Yeah,
a little.
It just seemed like every time I looked at the screen, Baltimore was in scoring range. So it was crazy, and they were running the ball extremely well. And it seems like right now the Dallas Cowboys are the worst defense against the run in the NFL, I believe. Something like that. The entire NFC East has a problem with the running game. All the NFC East teams have a problem with the run, but Dallas really has an issue. I'm hoping the Giants could take over and take advantage of that with running the football. But man, Dallas's defense still has a lot of good guys on that roster. I'm just wondering why. What is the issue that they're not able to stop the run or do anything? That defensive line I thought was pretty strong. Doesn't seem like it now. So Dallas I thought they were a lot better than what they are presenting it as. They may be still a fringe playoff team. They still look like they're a good team. They're just in a rut right now. Honestly, I'll be as non-biased as possible. They still look like a good team. They fought back in the end. They almost made a comeback against a really good Baltimore Ravens team that needed that win. And but yeah, we'll see what happens with the Cowboys in this game. But it was a bad loss for them last week.
Love it.
Yeah, love it. Yeah,
absolutely love it. All right, Rio.
We
Cowboys drop to the Ravens. What do you got?
we wish the worst on our enemies each week, but I believe we put the reverse jinx on the Cowboys because if I'm correct, we might have unanimously picked Dallas to win this game.
I think so.
I think we all picked Dallas.
That was the first time you picked an NFC East team, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I'm with it. We put the reverse jinx on the Dallas Cowboys. Derrick Henry looked like he was in high school again. For the first time this year, we've been saying for weeks that Derrick Henry just looks like such an awful fit and forced on the Baltimore Ravens. And then he gets the Dallas Cowboys on his schedule. And he brought out Zeke Spoon, you know. He brought out Zeke's retired spoon and said, I'm going to show you how it's done at the 4 o'clock window. Dallas, like Kid Blue said, Dallas is in a rut right now. And I hope that rut continues tonight versus the New York Giants. But we are a notoriously bad defense against the run right now as a division. As a division, we're letting Chase Brown get 8 yards of carry on us and Devin Singletary, and everybody can get ran on in the NFC East. And the more I see everybody's team, until we get to that latter part of the schedule, everybody looks beatable in the division right now, and Dallas looks super vulnerable. I hope it stays that way. I hope they don't find their mojo. Their medicine is on the schedule tonight because they dominate the New York Giants. It's been, what are we, like 3 presidents away from the last time the Giants beat the Cowboys? Something crazy like that. Was Obama in office?
2020, but I don't count 2020. I think we beat him in 2020, but I don't count.
That was when Dak
got hurt. Yeah, so I don't count it. Yeah, you're right, Rio.
It feels like such a long time ago, but let's hope that changes. I want to see a Dallas Cowboys crash out and collapse of epic proportions. It's normally scheduled for January's. Christmas could come early if it happens in September. That's
right, baby.
Christmas could come early, guys. 219 of you in the chat right now. Shout out to everybody hanging out with us.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button right now. Let's get this up to 200 because we still have a lot to discuss. And as you know, our Eagles representative is out of town. He couldn't make it this evening, but that doesn't stop us from talking about the Philadelphia Eagles game. They won 15-12 against the New Orleans Saints. And we're going to go around the table and just get some quick thoughts from all of our panelists on that. Starting off with Jay Tuck. What did you see from the Eagles? Should the rest of the NFC East be scared of this team?
Didn't watch it. No, I was joking. No, okay. No, I think overall it was an impressive win for the Eagles, right? Because, the Saints has been rolling. Hell, they just punched us in the mouth the week prior. And you got to think about they have some injuries, right? A.J. Brown wasn't playing. So it shows that the talent that they have. And I think that's the problem, not just with the Eagles and Cowboys, but the entire NFC East. Like we have talent, but we always feel like we can just turn it on and off. And I felt like the Eagles just turned it off, turned it on, versus the Saints at noon on Sunday, like a completely different team. Now, even though Jalen Hurts had some turnovers, there was some costly mistakes going for it on 4th down. When it was time to actually go out there and win the game, you saw the Eagles defense really step up and fill the void. So it just shows the talent pool that the Philadelphia Eagles have. And that's kudos to Howie Roseman. And then all of a sudden, there he finally goes. There's Jalen Carter. There's that Jalen Carter that everyone's been waiting for. And it's like, oh, here we go. So, overall good performance from the Eagles. But I think overall, once they get healthy, they're going to be a lot better team. But they still have a lot of pieces to really put together, especially on the defensive line. But Jalen Carter looked phenomenal. And Quinyon Mitchell, too. I like Quinyon Mitchell. So that's all y'all getting from me. That's all I got. You know what I'm saying?
And so you love to see it. What about you, Kid Blue?
I thought it was a really impressive win. Even no matter what we think about the Saints, maybe they have a little bit of a hot streak. Maybe they're playing better than they actually are. It doesn't matter. They were definitely all the momentum was on their side, scoring two straight games over 40 points, 92 points. They're the number 1 offense in the NFL, and they completely shut them down. The Eagles shut down the Saints. Like I said, just knocked them over, beat them up. A lot of people had the Saints running away with this game, me included. I thought this would be another 40-point game, just based on how the Eagles play their defense, very bend but don't break, soft Vic Fangio style defense. So I thought it was a really good win. I thought it was a good sort of boost of momentum, and I know it's a good boost of morale for them. I'm just hoping it doesn't last very long. I'm hoping the Eagles fall right back down, but listen, this is a Saints team that didn't give up a lot of yards versus the run, and Saquon ran all over them. So I did not like to see that whatsoever. Saquon is having the time of his life right now, and I'm not here for it. So, but yeah, it was a really good win for the Eagles, and I mean, yeah.
And so what you got on that, Rio?
Oh man, the Saints were so close to pulling it off.
I know.
What a game. Both teams under 20. Old slobber knocker, old defensive ball game. I was pissed. I wanted to be the only team walking into week 4 with 2 wins on the board. So I hated that the Eagles pulled it off. Saquon Barkley's a nightmare. It just feels like the running back version of T.O. being acquired by the Eagles. That 65-yard touchdown, that's Penn State Saquon right there.
It was.
Back, and you watch Dallas Goedert and Saquon absolutely save them on the offensive side of the ball because for whatever reason right now, is it because the receivers are injured or the inaccuracies? Jalen Hurts is not looking great right now. He has more interceptions than touchdowns, and our fan base would be losing their mind if our rookie quarterback had more interceptions than touchdowns.
Daniel Jones is having a better season.
Is having a better season. Jalen Hurts is the 4th quarterback in the NFC East through 3 weeks of the season.
Crazy.
Is it going to remain that way? Probably not. But my rookie looks significantly better than Jalen Hurts right now. But I feel for him. They told us they stole and they fleeced us, ski mask Howie, all that bullshit when they dropped a 3rd-round pick on our lap for Jahan Dotson. Through 3 weeks and about 66 routes ran so far, Jahan Dotson has 3 catches for 18 yards. So shout out to my GM, Adam Peters, for getting some trash out the building. When you trade a guy with one of your ops within the division, something stinks about that guy. They didn't want to believe it because GMs and coaches have this ego thing and say, I can fix him. It's like the women that think they can fix ain't shit men all the time. And then they see, you got to believe who people are when they tell them. Like I told y'all last week, my therapist tells us all the time, good job, good win, Eagles. You sold us. The Eagles are not looking as scary as that roster looks like on paper right now.
Oh, my God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's about time that we move on to the game previews. And don't worry, we're going to be unpacking everything Cowboys and Giants here a little later. But first, we're going to start off with the Washington Commanders as they are set to face off against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Rio did end up hitting Twitter today, and he said, we're going to beat the Cardinals. Just very straightforward sentence, like throwing it out there. And I'm very excited to read those replies later this evening. But right before we dive into that, guys, I do need to go on ahead and just give a shout out to one of our other sponsors, and that's Dynasty Underwear, man. If you hate swamp ass and your underwear continuously running up where you don't want it to run up right now, folks, this is the ultimate underwear that I highly recommend that you do check out. It's moisture wicking technology. It completely prevents all ride-ups. And look at some of these damn designs they have over here, folks. Something your lady will absolutely love. Even Halloween, how festive. All right. Go on ahead, check out Dynasty. Link is in the description. And if you use code RTS10, you will get 10% off, folks. All right. So definitely go ahead and check that out. Link is in bio. Shout out to Dynasty for sponsoring this overall channel. Folks, it's about time to move on. And that just so happens to be with the Washington Commanders versus the Arizona Cardinals. And first, I want to start this off because Mark is obviously a very excited Commanders fan. And he comes in. He says, Rio, it's been a long time since we had a quarterback. Talk your shit. But can this defense be a bend, not break?
That's a good question, man. That's a good question. But we got the Arizona Cardinals coming up on Sunday. Kyler Murray has looked very good. He looks like the K1 he was before his injury in 2022. And he's going to be a problem. I do have a problem thinking that Washington is trying to steal a victory from the Arizona Cardinals. Who are we stealing from? It's ass versus ass. Our roster is bottom tier. Their roster is bottom tier. They got Maserati Marvin Harrison Jr. They got Kyler Murray. They got Budda Baker. But I think we got better ass than them. I think we got better ass than the Arizona Cardinals. So when they say Washington's going to steal one, I don't think it's about stealing. Yes, they're at home. I don't want to hear anything about Washington struggling in Arizona in years past because this is a new Washington team. This will come down to the turnover battle. At some point, we're going to turn the ball over. We're not going to continue to have a clean sheet every week. It's irregular. It's not normal, and it's not part of the game. Turnovers literally fall in people's lap. Kyler Murray is capable of turning the ball over, and I think that's going to be the S factor of this game. Are we going to be able to get to him? Because he's hard to sack. He's slippery. He's fast as hell, and he throws on the run up there, probably top 3 or top 4 in this league. He's a problem, but I don't see us losing this football game on Sunday. I got us winning by 1 point, 27-26 in the desert, going to 3-1 on the season, and coming home to host the massage menace, Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns in the following week. I got Jaden going and out-dueling another really good quarterback in this league, and this is the Cliff Timothy Kingsbury revenge game. He's still getting checks written to him from Arizona. He knows everything about Kyler Murray, the good, the bad, the ugly, and what makes him tick. We are coming in for revenge because we got to complete the redemption arc of our OC, an OC who has had an offense humming that hasn't punt in 2 weeks and hasn't turned the ball over one time in 3 weeks. Let's get it in and let's keep this thing rolling in the desert, baby.
It's ass versus ass, but we have the better ass. I love it. I love it. Holy hell. All right, Jay, talk.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one to watch. I'll say I'll be happy to watch the games on Sunday, knowing that we don't play, but it depends on how tonight goes, right? Overall, I think this is going to be a good battle because I feel like they're kind of even when you look at them on paper. And even though that Kyler Murray is the veteran quarterback, I feel like Jaden Daniels is ascending as well in the right direction. They got Maserati Marv out there. They got the running backs in Connor and also Trey Benson, also a young tight end who I liked as well out there in Arizona. But like you said, man, reunion back to their old team. Dan Quinn, where do I want to go? I don't know. I have to look at the bets on BetUS about this one because there might be some opportunity there.
I believe we're like 3.5 point dogs right now.
3.5. Damn, that's about right. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. If I had to lean, I think I'm going to lean towards the Cardinals to win at home, just for the home factor. And they played tough. I mean, they played Buffalo tough. I mean, you're aware of that, Dan. And so. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals to beat the Commanders in a close one. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game though.
No defense.
Zero defense. Smash the over, whatever it is. All right, Kid Blue, what you got, man?
Yeah, I think this would be a really fun game to watch. I hope both the defenses did their cardio this week because they have two of the best scramblers probably in the NFL right now in Kyler Murray versus Jaden Daniels. So that's going to be fun to see those defense chase those guys around. The Arizona Cardinals are going to be an issue defensively for the Commanders. The Cardinals put up pretty good fights. I know they are 1-2 right now, but they put up a pretty good fight versus the Buffalo Bills week 1, and then they completely demolished the Rams in week 2, and then in week 3 they lost a really close one to the Lions. They contained their offense, but they really look like they're starting to get the ball rolling with Marvin Harrison Jr. He had a slow start in week 1. He was completely boxed out, but he's starting to start rolling. So we'll see if we get more of that in this game against a Commander secondary that has not been very good. Interested to see how Marvin Harrison plays there. And as far as the Commanders go, I think Rio brought up a really good point. I mean, this is the Commanders team that hasn't turned the ball over yet, and Kyler Murray is susceptible to turn the ball over. He does take a lot of risks. So we've seen a bunch of Kyler Murray highlights of him just throwing the ball downfield and hoping somebody catches it. So he's done that many times, and some of the times they've been resulted in turnovers. So I think that's a really big key factor to this game is, who can protect the ball better, who can play keep away a lot better. And I think this would be a really good offensive game. I think both teams are probably going to get close to 30 points. So I think this would be a sort of a shootout, almost like kind of what we saw against the Cincinnati Bengals that the Commanders just played. So yeah, I'm gonna take the home team. I'm gonna take Arizona to win. I think the Commanders had a really good wins against Cincinnati, but for me to start picking you more often, you got to show me more. So if you want to be considered as one of those teams, you got to show me more. So we'll see what happens. But I got Arizona here. I got Kyler Murray, the veteran. Like I think Rio said it, he's looking like a younger form of himself. Kyler Murray is back. He's playing good football, and I love to see it. So excited to see what he's going to do on the field.
One tidbit before you transition, Dan. Austin Eckler is out with a concussion, and Trey McBride, their starting tight end, is looking like he might be out with a concussion as well.
Trey McBride,
so big offensive weapons for each side that could swing the game.
Interesting. All right, folks. We'll definitely keep a close eye on that matchup, especially when you're putting down some cash on the Commanders, the Cardinals, whoever you damn choose. And let me tell you what, 404 of you in here rocking with us right now.
Hey,
damn, let's go, baby.
290 on YouTube, 114 on X. All right. And you know what? Shout out to the Eagles fans that are still in the chat as well, because I've seen a couple of you in here, and you're going to love this segment because I almost guarantee you all of the panelists are going to pick against your team here, but we still need to talk about it. All right.
Eagles fans see that star. They can't leave, man. They see that star.
It's the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Eagles, after coming off of a very narrow victory against the Saints, are heading to face off against their second NFC South opponent, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right. So I'm going to start off with J-Tuck on this one. What do you got for this one? Who do you anticipate to come out with?
Revenge game for Philadelphia, right? Because the Tampa Bay Bucks knocked them out of the playoffs last year. Now, I'm not sure on AJ Brown. Is he going to give it a go or not? Kind of seeing
all three starting receivers might be out. It might be Jahan Dotson as number one.
Then what are we doing here? So where are those odds on Bet US come about to slam out of Tampa if that's the case? And so, if that's the case, if the injuries are really prevailing and lingering on,
yikes!
I don't see them being able to beat the Tampa Bay Bucks on the road. Just with Saquon and Jahan Dotson, I feel like that's not going to be enough. So, overall, I think it's going to be a tough matchup. Like I said, it's going to be, based off of what happened last year in the playoffs. But Baker Mayfield's been playing well. So I would go with the Tampa Bay Bucks to win this game. If some of the wide receivers go, if you give me AJ Brown a little bit, then I'll possibly swing towards Philly. But I think that the Tampa Bay Bucks win this game.
Surprisingly enough, the Buccaneers are 1-point underdogs.
Oh, slam that.
That's give me that. Ooh,
I'm going to give someone else.
That's a lot.
Another YouTube 150 real quick, man. I didn't mean another.
That's going in the parlay.
Let's go. All right, Rio. Are the Eagles and the Bucks? What you got?
Ooh, if they're without Devontae Smith and AJ Brown and have to depend on a Jahan Dotson legacy game, oh my God.
He breaks out, baby.
Hey, he may turn back into Carson Wentz's the Jahan Dotson of 2022, or he will be exactly who he is right now. Go out and give him about 6 catches for 27 yards, but Jalen Hurts is going to have to use his legs versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jaden Daniels ran for 90 yards on them, and Bo Nix was definitely he was moving the chains all day on them as the Denver Broncos absolutely dominated Tampa. Tampa was riding high coming off that Detroit victory and then get smacked by a rookie quarterback. So it's an Eagles revenge game because of the playoff, but the Bucks are trying to bounce back because the whole world is calling them frauds right now. Bo Nix didn't even have to throw a touchdown to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday. Just feed Saquon, get the running game going. The Eagles have a good shot in this one. This is a hard game to pick, but I'm trying to keep up my consistency and not rooting for my enemies unless I absolutely have to. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by a field goal in this one. If the Bucks play a little better than the Saints did last week, they can get the deed done. I need Washington coming out as the only 3-win team going into week 5.
Oh, man. So I'll tell you what. So that injury report is a damn CVS receipt right now. And it's not only the wide receivers. It is also Lane Johnson, offensive tackle, questionable. Yikes. And so is Landon Dickerson. So they have an offensive guard and an offensive tackle on the injury report.
Bucks by a touchdown, baby. Let's go.
Let me go ahead and lock. That's what I'm doing right now. As soon as y'all saying all that, man, I'm locking it.
Yeah. Oh my God. What about you, Kid Blue? What do you got?
Yeah, as soon as I heard the news that Devontae Smith was going to be out, AJ Brown probably still going to be out, I'm like, oh man. And then they got another receiver, Britton Covey. He's out for like 6 weeks or something like that. They are decimated on that wide receiving core right now. They're probably going to have to rely on a lot of the young bucks and a lot of guys that haven't really done much. And Jahan Dotson, what's his name? Johnny Wilson. And then I don't know if Anaya Smith is playing with them right now, but that's going to be interesting to see. And this is a Buccaneers team. It almost seems like this Philly versus Tampa, these two teams are almost like rivals now. That's kind of what it feels like. So I'm excited to see how this is gonna turn out. The Buccaneers, tough loss against the Broncos, man. I did not see that one coming. Bo Nick's legacy game for him there. And this is the Bucs team that's pretty damn good. This is a pretty damn good Bucs team, and they had their number in the playoffs last year. And with Lane Johnson also out, I just don't see how Philly's going to turn this one out. I think the Buccaneers have an issue against the run, and maybe the Eagles can kind of lean more on that now that their wide receivers are out. But this is the Buccaneers at home, I believe, too. So it's not looking real good. I got the Bucs in this game. You said Bucs +1. Give me that all day. I'll take that all day.
Yeah, I just locked it in. I'm not even gonna hold y'all, man. I just locked it in.
Yeah, I'm about to put that in the parlay.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's beautiful. Well, folks, now it is the moment all of you have been waiting for, because in just a couple of hours, the New York Giants are set to face off against Dallas Cowboys.
Baby.
All right, and the Giants are coming off of an absolute record high, beating the Cleveland Browns, and the Dallas Cowboys are looking to get right. I'm gonna start off with Jay Tuck on this one. All right, man. Talk to me about this matchup, what scares you, what makes you optimistic, and ultimately how you see it panning out.
Yeah, I think what scares me and a lot of Cowboys fans for this game is that the Cowboys can't do the basic two principles of football. You can't stop the run and you can't run the football. So when you can't do those two things, it opens up the opportunity to lose Sunday after Sunday at the NFL level. So the thing that scares me the most is the New York Giants defensive front going against our young rookie offensive line. So you're going to have a rookie in Cooper Beebe. That's my neighbor. That's my dog. I love him out of Kansas State. But you're going against Dexter Lawrence, bro. Like, it's going to be a battle in the trenches. Then you're also going to have Tyler Guyton going against Brian Burns and possibly Kayvon Thibodeau. Depends on the side shift. So I think in the trenches, it just doesn't fare well for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, when it comes to the Giants' offensive side of the ball, I feel like our defensive line can play well if you can get them in passing situations. I feel like this defense has been built to stop the pass, to get pressured. But as of right now, hell, I might be the starting defensive tackle tonight. I have no clue who our defensive tackle is. We brought in Carlos Watkins off the street, didn't play well. You had Linval Joseph, the guy that, Kid Blue and the Giants traded to us, in Jordan Phillips. He's turned out to be a bust, and he's actually been benched for 4 games. So
thank you.
We need to punch on the Giants for that reason, just alone there, because they traded us a bunch of, trash players. I don't want to say trash players, bad players. So overall, I think the interior in the trenches is going to be the biggest struggle for the Cowboys versus the Giants. But I think the clear separation will be our quarterback, Dak Prescott, and CeeDee Lamb will get things rolling. I think the offense is going to find a rhythm. Their corners are kind of limited, so I expect if you're able to protect, that Dak can sit back and carve. I expect another big game from Jake Ferguson. I know the Giants like to go with this bend, don't break. Well, let's go ahead and break them. I feel like we can go out there and break them. And if we're able to score fast and score quick and make Daniel Jones have to be a quarterback where he can't hide behind the run and hide behind some of these play action throws, then it's going to really work in our favor. So overall, like I said, Kid Blue, nothing personal. This has nothing to do with you. This is about those last 2 teams, and the Saints and the Ravens, for punching on us. We got to punch on you a little bit. So I'm expecting the Cowboys to go out there, man up, handle business on the road, and get a win versus New York Giants. I got us winning 31-17. Go Cowboys.
Damn.
Sounds like a beat down at MetLife. All right, man. What do you got?
All right. Well, I first of all, I mean, hearing you talk about your team, my eyes lit up when you talked about that defensive tackle problem you guys got over there. The Giants have been running a lot. They changed up their running style. They used to run a lot of zone running, inside zone, outside zone. They try to, work that game. Lately, they've been running a lot of duo, trying to work up to the second level and get to those linebackers and try to run the ball in between the tackles, something that the Giants really don't pride themselves in doing, but they did a really good job of that these past 2 weeks. And I'm hoping they still do that. And I just want to run the ball right through if you got that defensive tackle problem, baby. And on top of that, hey, why not run against Micah Parsons too? Run his way as well. I don't mind doing that. So the Giants just need to run the ball in this game. And honestly, the Cowboys need to run the ball against the Giants as well. They did a good job against the Cleveland Browns in stopping the run, but Dallas has been known to run on us many times. So we definitely have to be mindful of that. Looking at this, the matchup that I'm looking forward to the most, obviously, is the Cowboys the Cowboys offense and the Giants defense. I think the Giants defense did a really good job completely going off of what they normally do in the Shane Bowen scheme, where it's soft zones, four-man rushes, and very conservative type defense, and only playing harder as you get closer to the red zone. They did a really good job changing that up last week and just blitzing the hell out of the quarterback, attacking the weaknesses on the offensive line, and they got to the quarterback 8 times and 36 pressures. Like they were absolutely insane. So as far as that goes, if you do the same exact thing, I think we can beat the Cowboys. If you do the same exact thing and just keep pressuring Dak Prescott, even though we sacked Deshaun Watson 8 times, he still got out of about 3 or 4 of them because he was so slippery. Dak Prescott isn't as slippery. I'll tell you that much. I think he's going down on first contact. He ain't fighting Dexter Lawrence out of a sack. I tell you that much. So we'll see what happens. And on top of that, you gotta challenge Tyler Guyton. I heard Tyler Guyton's not having a great time right now. He's kind of been bullied. Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, however they want to have them, whoever's going to be on that side, just absolutely abuse them. Nickel blitzes, something the Giants have been doing a lot. Send a lot Tyler Guyton's way, and I think we can come out with a win here. We got to strike now. The Giants do not have a good track record against the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, everybody knows that fact. It hasn't been a rivalry as of late. The Cowboys have just beat up on us. Just easy W's on their schedule. This is the time, if not at any time, this needs to be the time to beat the Cowboys. They're coming off a bad loss at home against the Ravens. Now they're coming to MetLife. The Giants just got their first win, a win that they didn't expect. I don't even think they expected to come out with that win. The momentum's running high. You got to strike now. You got to win this game now and really set a precedent for this season and completely decimate the morale of the Cowboys. So I think the Giants can win this game. The question is, will they? The question is, will they? But I'm going to say the Giants come out with a shocking victory. What better way? Shocking victory. Daniel Jones, prime time, finally beating the Cowboys. Finally beat it. It needs to happen tonight, baby. Tonight. And let's get it.
Oh, man.
Let's get it. All right. Now, listen, obviously, I want the non-biased take here. All right.
I'm gonna try to be non-biased, but the biggest op is always the Dallas Cowboys.
It's like 3-on-1.
America hates you. So I
am all for kicking people when they are down, and I need Dallas to be kicked below 6 feet, 12 feet in the dirt. I want to see the Cowboys crash out. I want to see Jerry Jones tweaking this week when he gets a microphone in his face. I know y'all saw him in that live stream with Jamie Foxx. He's out here scouting players Johnsons, and we're not talking about Jimmy. We're not talking about Jimmy.
We're not talking about Jimmy.
And I want to see it. I want to see the embarrassment. Everybody wants to see this brand go down. They have the biggest brand in all of sports. They are NFL, Disney, NFL, Apple brand, all of that stuff. And that stock is going to forever sell despite the fact that they never deliver anything at the end of the season since the 90s. So come on, New York. Malik Neighbors, carry that momentum into this game. You're at home tonight. You're in prime time for the first time. You saw what Jaden did in prime time on Monday. Y'all got a little rookie of the year competition going on. Go beat him. Go out and start week 4 trying to win rookie of the week. It's just Dallas. Yes, they've owned y'all in the past. It felt like they've owned y'all for like 2 decades at this point. But this is a weird NFL season. It's a very weird NFL season. Parity is at an all-time high. The biggest underdog has won 3 weeks in a row outright, and we can keep that going tonight on Thursday night. Go New York Giants, baby. I'm wearing big blue tonight. Not really, but I'm going to be rooting for him in my watch party. Daniel Jones, he is my friend tonight. I want the Dallas Cowboys to stack L's because if we could knock out one team in the division early in the season, that would mean my Commanders may actually have a chance to make something out of an evaluation season. Give me the New York Giants in this one tonight. 24-23 New York Giants. I don't know how, but get the Cowboys out of here for all of us.
And I didn't even mention Malik Neighbors versus Trayvon Diggs. What happened the last time a rookie first-round receiver faced up against the Dallas Cowboys for the
He's
Giants?
been looking for this opportunity. He's looking to make a name for us. He's been waiting on this matchup.
That last time. The beef with Trayvon Diggs. I forgot all about that too.
He's been waiting on it.
He said, I'm not going to talk. He said, I'm gonna wait to see what happens in the game. He said, I'm gonna let my play speak for itself.
He's going to travel over to the other side.
Malik Neighbors, hey, then travel with him. Travel with them. You know what I'm saying? So Malik Neighbors presents himself like a veteran. The way he talks, the way he carries himself, he's a dog on the field, but an absolute just a great speaker in press conferences and the way he talks like a veteran, an experienced veteran, and I can't wait to see what happens. Listen, the last time Trayvon Diggs faced up against a rookie first-round receiver for the Giants, 189 yards on your head with Kadarius Toney. Okay, so we'll see what happens.
Tuck, y'all can run on the Giants, bro. If y'all had a running back worth a damn, you can run on them boys. Because Brian Robinson had a career day. He had it ain't gonna be none of this, man. That's
it's oatmeal. It's oatmeal. It's oatmeal.
I hope y'all try to have Malik Neighbors to have a big day, because that means y'all passing the ball versus running the ball. I'll take that ball in the air, let Micah Parsons go out there, get a sack or two, versus y'all running the ball down our throats with Singletary. But hey, man, it's gonna be a fun game. But I would say this for Shane Bowen: blitz Dak if you want to, bro. Blitz him if you want to. It's going to be lights out. So it's going to be interesting, but our offensive line has to hold up. It's going to be, and I hate saying this, it's going to be a good battle. And that's how bad our Cowboys defense has been, that we're actually believing it's going to be a good battle versus the New York Giants. So it's blood in the water. But they
love it.
Yeah, our old faithful slump buster, man, getting a little bold right now. You know what I'm saying? So if the Cowboys go out there and show improve, I would love for another 40-0 victory, put fear back in everyone's heart.
It's not happening.
They'd be like, all right, man. Like, all right. I'm saying we apologize, but it's time for the Cowboys to go out there and show improve. And the whole world's about to be watching here in an hour on Thursday Night Football.
Put fear back in America's eyes. Interesting. Folks, we want to thank you for tuning in to another edition of the NFC East Roundtable. Now, I do want to recommend, because I understand that you guys enjoy engaging in this live chat, definitely go subscribe to each and every single one of these gentlemen that are linked in this description right now. You don't need to be a fan of their favorite team, but you can certainly troll them if things don't turn out the way that they said they would on this show. All right, so feel free to go ahead and subscribe to each and every single one of them. And I want you to cement it in your brains that this show is live, same time, same place, every single Thursday evening. All right, so subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. Let's go around the table, say our goodbyes, let everybody know where they can find you, what's going on your channel for the remainder of the week. Starting off with Rio. Go ahead.
Rio_Robinson91 on all social media, stirring the pot and talking my shit. And on Rio Robinson on YouTube, shows called Rambling About Washington, where I do a lot of yapping about my football team. I'm not gonna act like I've been there before, because I haven't. So I'm gonna be very on my high horse until we're knocked out the top spot.
I love it. What about you, Kid Blue?
Yeah,
you streaming the game tonight?
Yeah, I'm streaming the game. Yeah, I'll be streaming the game. Kid Blue RB27. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube. Same thing. Streaming the game tonight. And then we'll have a lot of content going over the game and film and stuff like that. That's what we do on my channel. I didn't have time to do a Know Your Opponent stream where I do film of the opponent's film, and I didn't have time to do it because the Thursday night game. And but that's what's going to be going on the channel. And so if you guys, Giants fans, even non-Giants fans, want to tune into the stream tonight, we have that going.
Sound off for our boy Kid Blue during his stream this evening.
Let's go, baby.
Especially Cowboys fans. Definitely give him a visit if things aren't turning out the way they want. All right, Jay Tuck, what you got, man?
Yeah, you guys can follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. My YouTube channel is CFO Sports. We do a lot of Dallas Cowboys content. But for you Giants fans that to repack y'all up tonight, y'all can come on over, because I also do a lot of NFL draft content. So if y'all looking for y'all future quarterback, don't worry, JTuck got you. I mean, the Eagles fans are smart. Like, they follow all my draft content. Howie takes all my picks. We do a lot of NFL draft content. I also cover college football. The Kansas Jayhawks here in Kansas, they ain't been playing with the damn anyways. But it's always a good time. We invite all fans over in our community. We just love teaching and educating sports with context and having great conversations with passionate football fans. But let's go get this victory, Cowboys Nation.
Oh, man. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to yet another edition of the NFC East Roundtable. And we will see you next week, same time, same place.